What up? What up? We're back. Let's see. I'm gonna get started in a little bit right now. Got a new drink. Synergy, the real kombucha. Been getting into these lately. I don't know if you guys ever tried them. Pretty good. Let's see. Let me open this thing real quick. There we go. Ooh, this is the good stuff right here. Man, this is good. This flavor is peach paradise. It's pretty nice. What really gets my attention when I see these bottles at the store is the colorway. It's on here. Let me see if I can get it on the camera right here. See, I don't spill it. But you see the orange and then it gets peachy right here. This is pretty dope. Dope little combo right there. Let's see here, guys. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. It's pretty early right now. I was like sorting out some things. Quite a busy day today for me. You know, I was packaging orders and stuff. Had to meet up with some people and stuff like that, and work on top of that. And then, you know, all the family stuff after that. And now I'm just chilling, you know. Something I really wanted to show you guys was new model kits that I have for my stash. So I'm going to be showing you guys some of these kits in a little bit right now. Oh man, this stuff's good. Let me set this aside over here. Let's see. All right. So these are kits, model car kits that I got from my friend Rudy. Shout outs to him. These are kits that were from his collection, and now they are in my possession to be part of my collection. And these kits I hope to bring to life one day and build them up, you know. So the first one right here, this is one that I did build as a kid. And, you know, this is one of those ones when I would go to like Blue Max Hobbies out in Oxnard, you know, in the 90s. And it's more like mid to late 90s, you know. And this was one vehicle. It's a truck that I built. So, you know, it's been so long. I see this kit from time to time on eBay, sometimes at the shows, but it's never really pulled me to be like, oh, let me pick that up again. Let me go ahead and try to rebuild it, you know. But lately, I've been like, you know what? I've been thinking about that kit. I know I've talked about it on the previous some of the recordings, you know, that I've been doing, and I was like, man, you know what? I need to start getting into it and really talk about this car. So let me pull it out. Check it out, guys, right here. This is the 1955 Chevy Stepside Street Machine. Look at this beautiful kit right here. Like, just staring at this box art right here. This is an actual model kit that they took a photograph of, and they just built this thing super clean right here. You know, I mean, just by looking at it, you know, this is 1955. Looking at that front grille, the headlights, you know, the hood, like that face that it gives right there, you know, it's really nice. Those wheels that are on there, I like how they painted them, and they definitely, you know, complement the body and the color of the body, you know. It being a step side, you know, this thing looks like a beast, you know, like to be on the streets. It looks really nice. And I don't know, it's just something about it, you know. It's super nice. I still remember putting this together and putting the cab together. You know, it's like a separate piece from the rear and the chassis, you know. I always thought, man, this is such a cool truck right here. And even like the front, when you're looking at this, it almost looks like it's like leaning forward, right? Like right here, there's like a radius, like a little curvature going forward. And then even right here in the front, you know, it has that like forward kind of motion kind of look. And let's see the side right here. So this is the other side. So check that out right there. It says $9.95. crazy. So this is like taking us back right here when model kits were $9.95. Right here we have the tailgate, you know, the back of the bed of the truck, showing you a highlight of the suspension there. Look at the engine, and then also the interior. Let's see the back. I know my friend Rudy likes to write the dates on the bottom of when they bought the kit. So look at this. He purchased this kit September 16th, 1995. Check that out. What a trip. You know, I was just mentioning, you know, that I was going to the store, Blue Max Hobbies, and I was saying like mid to late 90s. You know, I was in junior high between like 1996 and 97. That was the time when I was like building a lot of model kits right there. Towards high school, you know, I would say more leading into like my freshman year, I was probably building one of my last builds, and then that was it. You know, I started to kind of move on, you know, into other things and stuff. I was getting into other types of hobbies and hanging out with friends and other things, you know, that kept me busy. I'm going to have to ask him if, I don't know if he might remember or if he watches this later, if he could leave a comment. I really would like to know if, you know, when, not when, but like where did you purchase this model from? Was it from Blue Max Hobbies? Was it from, I know you had mentioned that there was another hobby store in Oxnard, or was this purchased from Ventura Hobbies back in the day? That's what I want to know. You know, the kit is still sealed. This is really nice. It's still sealed. You know, it's been sealed all these years. And fast forward to 2025, it's here, you know? It looks like it's in really mint condition as far as like the box and everything. And I know that if I take off this wrapping, it's just going to be like really clean, right? And I'm kind of debating, should I open it or not, you know? There you go, $9.95. Freddie Soto, what's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for joining me right here. So, you know, this is what I'm going to hang on to it for now until I get that confirmation from him. And, you know, if anything, I might try to get another one and build that one and just keep this one like this, the way it is, just to preserve it. You know, I've always admired the artwork in these, you know, this nice plain background. It looks white, and then right here it starts to turn into that like gray area at the top, and then you have the model right there. I've always liked this. This is really nice. So this is one. I'm going to set this one aside. I'm going to pull up another one that's quite similar. This is a 1955 Chevy Cameo pickup. You know, just by looking at it, it's the same year as the one I just showed you a little bit ago. This is Cameo, so it doesn't have the step side right here on the side right there. I have seen people add a skirt, like cruiser skirts, to this, slamming them. They do look pretty crazy, you know. They look like, meaning like dope though, you know, not crazy like what, like I've seen some where it flows, or I'm like, wow, like I would have never thought of that, you know. What's up, Mars Garage? What's up, man? And thank you for joining. So this is another one I got for my friend, and look at the side right here. You get to see another angle of it, and also what I was saying, like on the other one, it does have like this like type of like slant going forward, right here, and even right here on the back side right there. That's pretty neat. You know, so very similar, but some differences. I'll bring the other one up back in a bit just to kind of show you, to compare. This is more of the artwork right here, and let's look at the back side right here. So you have the optional visor decals, flooded wheel covers, and here's the 265 cubic engine V8 and the detailed cab right there. This kit, I have not built this kit. You know, I've only built the other one, the Chevy Stepside, and I wanted to get this one too. You know, I saw the other one, and I was kind of thinking like, you know what? I don't know if I should get it because I don't know if I'm gonna build it or what. But then I was like, nah, let me get it. I gotta get this one. So let's put them together here, so you could kind of see the a comparison. Let's see. I don't know if it's gonna fit. All right, there we go. Even better, right here. So the cabs, the front part look a bit similar. I don't know if it's because of the white and this one's the yellow, but right here, like the headlights look like they're, a little bit more forward. It's kind of hard to tell here because of the white, but it is kind of slanted a little forward. And then obviously the step side in the back, the cap, like not the cap, but this area right here compared to this one, this looks more like for the father and for the son, the street machine's quite interesting right here. And then obviously this one has the visor over here. So somewhat similar, but they did, they give you some different options right there. Let's look at the side right here. It's quite interesting right there. Look at that. Like even the rear tailgate looks different right there. Let's see. Let's see if we can compare this one to this one. Obviously the engine's going to be different right here. Both V8s, but the other one's like high performance, and then different wheels and stuff like that. Let's see. Mars Garage. He comments, I just built that truck a few months ago, or a few months back. My daughter got me that at the Goodwill for $5. Man, that was a come up right there. That's pretty cool. And let's see, Freddie Soto, he mentions here on the chat, get the kids in two. They learned about cars and how to start. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading it. Sorry, I can get closer here. Start to finish and stay out of the streets. Let's go Dodgers. There you go. Yeah, man, it's true, man. A lot of this stuff definitely, it keeps you away from trouble, man, because it's like, either it prevents you from doing something, or it just prevents you from being at the wrong place, wrong time, and you're like, dang, I shouldn't even have came out. Should have just stayed home. Sometimes stuff like that does happen. Let's see here. Let me pull out another kit, guys. The next one right here. And this is the first time I've ever owned this kit right here. This one here is the a la carte, the ultimate custom car, designed and built by George Barris. Build a complete model of the a la carte 125th scale model kit. This is by AMT right here. So this one's not sealed. It's open box. Check it out right there. This looks pretty cool right here. So you can see right there. And just looking at the cover, you start to see like the already the design of George Barris. I really love a lot of this customization right there. The seats, everything, even the rear. And this one, I've never built this one. It's the first time I own this kit. I've seen this one from time to time in some of those custom magazines, but I've never gotten my hands on one. And when I saw it, I was like, I want to get this kit. Definitely want to pick this up. Look at the back right there. That looks pretty cool. So what jumps out to me when I see this kit is a custom paint job. Definitely. This is a nice canvas where you could definitely experiment and try out, some fun paints with effects and just different things, and get a little wild with it, especially since the body is pretty much already set like a custom. It's something that's going to stand out, and it's going to be totally up to you to just push it, and see what else you can add on there. Let's see here. So what do we get? So in here we have the some water slide decals right here that can be used, optional. You could do a custom paint job and then place these right above it. You know, if the color scheme is gonna match something like that. But if not, it's okay. You can save these for a future car, future build. You have the a la carte license plate right there. Yeah, let's get up a close up right here. Check that out right there. That's pretty cool. Here, let me cover these up. Let's see. Mars Garage asks, how old is this kit? Let me see if I can get a year on here. So I'm quite not sure when this came out. Oh wait, so here it says 2002, right there. So I wonder if they ever came out with another version of this, you know, with different artwork, like a re-release. But this one here, you know, comes 2002. So I was already out of high school at that point, right there. Let's see here. So we have the instructions right there. Oh dang. Let's see. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. See how far I could go. So I kind of want to try to see if I could fit all this right here. Okay. So here we have the instructions. There we go. Engine assembly, chassis assembly. Continuing on with the chassis assembly. And then over on this side, we have the body assembly. This looks, I like the way this looks because it does not look intimidating. You know, it doesn't give you those vibes of like, man, what I get myself into. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to build this or what's going on. You know, it seems something that's very very doable. You know, it does not look intimidating at all. You know, it's just one of those kits where you know, very plain and simple. You gather up all your pieces. You start to primer, paint, getting all this all together, glued up, and then also for like the bottom, like the chassis as well, you know, and all this, like for myself, like if I really wanted to have some fun with this kit, I would definitely just like, you know, I would paint a lot of these parts up and just kind of put it together. The only items that I would probably take my time to experiment on with the paint job, obviously, would be the body and some of the interior right here. I would work with that, or even just this piece, like the fenders right there. Let me see. I was trying to see if the I don't know if this part of the hood opens. Let's see. Let's flip through the back right here. So then right here we have the body assembly right there, number 4. Okay, yeah, like right here. So it's optional. You know, you could always paint the block of the engine to match the body of the car. That's another option right there too. But you know, things like that. But if you know, if I wasn't gonna do no customization, because it's already pretty customized, then it would just be like just a straight build. You know, right out of the box. I think that'd be pretty fun. But since this is like the first time I'm getting this kit, you know, one of the main reasons was to experiment and do some stuff with the paint. That's some customization. That would be more the thing I'd be into. All right. So let's bust out what comes in the box. So this is still sealed. It has not been opened. It's taped right here on this part, like the fold, and you could tell this tape has not been pulled. Like it's still intact right here. So that's dope. Sealed kit. And what do we have here? This looks like the part of the cab. It looks like right here. And then we have a lot of chrome pieces. That's cool. A lot of chrome pieces. This is nice. It looks like there's like about 3 trees right here of chrome parts. And then we start getting into the glass, clear parts, rear tail lights, wheels, all that good stuff right here. And let me see here. Let me start kind of putting everything back right here. So this is what you get in this kit. If you guys are ever looking for this kind of style of kit or into this kind of stuff, you want to experiment, you know, this is what comes in the box. So very happy with this kit right here. You know, this is one I definitely want to hold on to, and I hope to one day bring it to life. You know, you think about it, 2002, you know, and after all these years, it's finally in my hands, and it's totally up to me to bring it to life. If I cannot bring it to life, then, you know, maybe somebody else will, you know. So I'll set that one there. I got this like little stacker on the side. Here's another kit I got. This is a 71 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. And this kit right here, back then, I would say like in 2015, 2016, I did buy this kit. I did own it at some point. I did plan on building it. And I kind of never did, but there was a moment where I felt like, you know what, let me get my younger brother into building. And I felt like this would be a cool introductory kit to get my brother, you know, into model building. And we tried, but I don't know. He wasn't really into it. He wasn't really like, we got down to primarying the car, but after that, he kind of lost interest. He wasn't really like down to do it. So I kind of never followed back on the build. I just kind of put everything back. And then later when I started sorting out all my kits, I realized, you know what? I don't think I'm ever going to get to this one. You know, I really don't feel like building it. So I ended up selling it back in the day. Yo, what's up? Hot Rod Scalado. What up, man? Thank you for dropping in. Let's see. He says, hey, fellas, dropping in to say hi from East Coast. And then off the resto, George Barris builds fun. Take care. Right on, man. Thank you. Thank you for coming through. Leon, Model Car 1589. What's up, man? What up? Let's see. We also have Jovan. Sit film. That is going to be a nice one. What's up, man? Yeah. So this one here, you know, I decided to get it again. And also I have some ideas for this. Kind of have a plan of what I want to do with this build right here. Also regarding paint, you know, I definitely do like the way the engine looks as well. It looks very nice. The Barracuda right here. Let's see. Let's open it up. It's also an open kit. I already kind of looked through it earlier. This one has been open, but it's all good, you know. It looks clean. That body right there. You know, I was last night when I was talking to Jerry on the podcast, you know, I was telling him that I've kind of been going down this rabbit hole, you know, with the Mopar cars, American muscle cars, and all these things. And what got me there, I would say, is the paint jobs. That's what's taking me there right now, like deep into it. So, you know, like with Gary Seeds, custom painter, he does lowrider cars, he does custom cars, but he also paints race cars. And, you know, Gary Seeds has texted me photographs of cars that he has painted for customers. And these are 101 scale race cars. And I was always blown away. I've always been blown away by his paint jobs. The combination of the colors, how colors, the way he combines them, how they pop, how everything just really bright colors and nice. And, you know, he would, you know, he's told me his story many times that for him growing up in Southern California as a little kid, he would see lowriders, he would see custom cars, he would see so much stuff. He was so exposed to so much, you know, and then he would go out to the tracks out in Pomona. Look at the cars in the raceway, and from there, you know, he saw a lot of cool things, cars that were flaked, funny cars, hand lettering, you know, with the numbers and everything. So he comes from this era, you know. He sees a lot of this stuff, and you know, people like him, like artists like him, you know, there's not many of them anymore, you know, out there that got to see this kind of stuff, to not only tell the story but also do it, you know. So it's always nice, you know, when he brings up these stories and these experiences to share them with us, you know. And you know, he keeps talking about like paint jobs and stuff like that. So then I started to you know, kind of look around and pay attention, and there was this one artist that I had been following for maybe like a year or so, and I would like his stuff here and there, but I wasn't really like paying too much attention to him like that, right? Yo, what up, Kenneth? What's up, man? It's the morning from Atlanta, Georgia. What's up, man? Hell yeah. I'm sitting here watching my favorite YouTuber. Oh, bro, thank you, man. That means a lot. And so you know, he's I was following this guy on Instagram, right? And he's an artist, and his nickname is Tuki, right? His last name is Hess. And I was like, yo, this guy's dope. Like, I really like what he's doing with his paint jobs, right? And I mean, this guy's pretty known, and his dad's also pretty known, right? These are all things I'm learning, right? I'm like, wait a minute, what the heck? So I'm getting excited. I'm like, dude, like, I want to interview this guy in the future. You know, I'm like, I gotta make it my mission. I'm already putting it out there in the universe. One day I'm gonna interview this dude, right? I'm not shy to like hit him up. Like, I know I could hit him up and ask him if he's down, but am I ready for that interview? I'm probably not. You know, that's how I feel. I don't think I'm ready for the interview yet. So I need to do my research. I need to learn some new things, and I need to be ready for this. And I'm telling you guys right now, because hopefully this does happen in the future. You know, it's not a guarantee that it's going to happen. You know, it's 50-50, could or it's not. But I'm going to show you guys this recent issue that just dropped. These are the two cars he painted that are on this cover right here. Two famous cars right here that I'm learning more about. You know, I have a Facebook account, and I started following a lot of hot rod stuff, a lot of Mopar stuff, and these cars keep coming up. And a lot of his work, I've been looking up interviews, I've been looking up articles and whatnot, and this is the latest print. This is fall 2025, and I'm like, dude, like these colors pop. It's really wild, you know. House of Color paint, that's like my favorite paint line right there. And let's see here. Ooh, look at that House of Color ad right there. Okay, real quick, I just want to get to their spot right there, because I just want to show you guys. So there's in this picture, they're showing us these three cars that he painted, right? Like, the combination of all these colors, the way they flow, are beautiful, very beautiful. And all this is all hand painted too. This car right here too, because you go, wait a minute, we go from this to like a purple to like an aqua outline on the flame, and then over here we jump into like blue and then gold. You know, there's a lot of transitions, but it makes sense. It's just the way it flows, you know. This one back here, I mean, there's some close-ups of it in the issue, but also it's like the reds jumping into yellows and oranges, and then the blues. Like, there's all these combination of colors, right, that get my attention. Let me see here. Like, look at the back part. Gonzo, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us. Look at the back. So right here we have blues with golds, oranges, right? Another famous painter that passed away, you know, not too long ago, and rest in peace to him, is Danny D, another painter from California, Southern California, who also did beautiful, beautiful artwork on lowrider cars. And he did also do his style, and he would play around with different colors like this too, like combinations, you know? And these are just colors that pop and stand out, right? And see me flip through the next page. Look at the feature on this one again. Dude, like that's dope. To me, this is like, I feel like I'm in school. School is in session. I'm taking notes, you know? I want to know, like, how'd you come up with this? Oh, look right here. This is, check this out. Color by Tukey. Paint, not, what's it? Promises. Dang, that's dope. All right. This is the crazy CUDA. All right, here we go. Here's this one right here. I hope you guys are digging this right now. Cause look at this right here. As you get closer, you start to see the fades right here. I could kind of notice some of the things that he did to this car, the effects. But there is another car that he painted. It's not featured in this magazine. That's a car that belongs to his father, that his father has built, and they have a driver that races that car. And man, they've been killing it. They've been winning like all the time. People get excited with their paint jobs every time they bust out a new car. And this is all, I'm just telling you guys what I've been learning so far, like from what I've been, from observing, reading, and all this stuff, right? I'm still new to this, you know. Maybe some of you guys know this stuff, you know. But to me, what's pulling me in is the paint jobs. And after seeing these videos and photographs, like I've been saving tons of photographs on my phone lately from these cars. What's been happening is I've been tripping out on the races. I'm like, dude, that car's a beast, you know? And now I'm like, okay. Like I need to go deeper into the rabbit hole, you know? Right now I'm just kind of buying these kits, you know, getting into this muscle car scene, to learn more about the paint jobs, play around with these cars. You know, obviously on the box artwork, you know, you could do all black or purple, whatever. But if I can do something wild, you know, why not? Let's look at the interior stuff right here. Let's check it out. I don't know if I want to pull everything out, but all right, let's do it. Why not? We got some time. Okay. So right here we have engine, the front, is that like the front grille, the interior tub right there. Man, I sound like an amateur. There's some dude I watch on YouTube that does, you know, videos like this where he pulls everything out. He knows every part. And I'm like, I'm amazed. I'm like, dang, this guy knows every little part. And I'm like, you know, I know the bottom chassis, the wheels. Shout outs to him, man. I'm not trying to clown or nothing like that. That dude's dope. All right. So, see, this is nice right here. I'm digging all that. Not a whole lot of parts, you know. This could easily be a really fun build, just putting it together. Let's see here. I'm curious about the wheels, the tires. Oh, here we go. Cool. So, you know, they look like they're all the same size. Obviously, they're not, and that's cool. But like if I do one of these, if I get my hands on one of these Barracuda kits, I want it to look like this, where it has a big fat tire in the back, and then this tire is like a little bit smaller, like slimmer, you know. So I don't know. I might have to buy another kit, I guess, or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go. The chrome tree right here for this is pretty cool. Right here, glass, clear plastic. What else? Then just the instructions and the water slide decals. So these are, I think they're going to be for the sides Yeah, right here, the sides, and then it says Hemi. And let me pull this up right here so you guys could check that out right there. Hemi 71 Hemi Cuda. Yeah, sometimes when I'm in here in the garage, just cleaning up, moving stuff around, or even like after the lives and stuff, I'll shut everything down. But as I'm cleaning up, I have my phone on, and I'll go on YouTube, and then I start just playing interviews and stuff on there with a lot of these race car drivers and stuff. These are the instructions right here. Right to the point, plain and simple. Start with, from number 1, you move on your way to number 2, and then each section is numbered right there. All the steps, what you need to follow to get to the ending, the finish line right there. What's up, Armando? Armando Flores is in the house. He says, aluminum wheels will look good. Oh, yeah, definitely. And then Model Cars 1589 Leon says, I love all painting information. I'm still trying to figure out what color to paint the 59. Dang. Have you narrowed down, Leon, the colors for the 59? Like what you're going to go with? Maybe like a little elimination, narrow down to the top 3, and then go from there. So then this is the last part of the instructions right here. So, bam, let me see. Put that there. So yeah, this style of car, like any kind of style of car, I look at them as like disciplines, like I'm trying to learn the discipline of this to also like respect it and know more about. And I'm just trying to educate myself more about it. So this way I'm more well prepared, knowledgeable about certain things. So this way, if that opportunity does arise and I'm able to, get that interview, we can go ahead and get into it, because I do have tons of questions, especially regarding paint. I've been thinking a lot about interviewing, painters, painters that, I don't know if they've ever built model cars. Maybe they have, but I've actually been considering reaching out to painters who do it for a career, custom painters from one-on-one cars, and just kind of reaching out and see, ask them questions regarding what they use, their experience, and also showcase some of their stuff, because I feel like every painter has their tricks, they have their ways of the way they execute things. So I think that would be pretty cool to learn from them. Let's see, Leon, you say you want to, for the 59, you want to do black, white, silver gray with the lowrider twist. Oh, nice. What type of brand, as far as paint, do you plan on using for that? You see here. That was kind of be my next question for you right there. Bam. Yeah, what are you guys up to? What are you guys doing right now? I know it's Wednesday. We're getting, middle of the week right here. I'm going to bring out the next model right here that I got my hands on. Let's see. Let me set all these aside right here. Hopefully they don't all fall down. All right. So here we have another Dodge, the 70th Plymouth Roadrunner right here. So it's funny because this is another car I've owned as far as like a model kit, not a real car. Model kit. I had it in my possession and I never opened it. Like I bought it, I think a Hobby Lobby years back. And I think I just bought it because I already had bought every kit I wanted to buy at Hobby Lobby, And finally I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy this one. Like I drove all the way over here. I have that 40% coupon at the time. I was like, why not? Let me just buy it, And yeah, so I ended up getting it, right? And I never built it. I just had it there, and then eventually when I was selling some kits, I sold it. But now I got it back. I got another one. So this is the next one I got right here, the Roadrunner. You know, been watching some videos, like I said, learning some things, and now I'm excited. Now I'm admiring the body shape, everything about this car, the potential this car does, you know, on a lot of these. And I'm like, all right, cool. This is another one I want to build. Definitely want to build this one too, you know, and play around with it. So yeah, a lot of these cars, man, they've been piquing my interest, you know. There's also some other kits that I want to get, like some Barracudas and stuff. I was looking at one that was like a 1968 Barracuda, but it's more of a vintage kit. I believe it's an MPC one, the original one. I mean, I was hoping there would be like a repress, but it was the original. And man, people were asking like $500 to $600 for this car. And I was like, dang, you know, it is what it is, man. These cars have value, you know, they definitely have a lot of value, you know, until they bring them back. But still, those original ones definitely have a lot of value. And even the box art looks awesome on that car. I really like it. Man, let me show you guys. I don't know if you guys saw it earlier, but I've been drinking this drink. But what I like about it is this transition right here, the peach. It gets like darker and then it gets lighter. You know, it's like a little fade right here around. That's pretty cool. This is peach paradise. The flavor, I'm really digging this. This is what it says, the real kombucha right here. I don't know, I just bought one of these the other day and I was like, man, I always see this at the store. Let me try it. Tried one and I was like, oh, this is good. And then every time I go to a store, I see one, I just pick it up. Different flavor though. Let's see. So yeah, these are pretty much all the kits that I acquired over the weekend right here, as you could see. But yeah, this one's cool, man. This one's taking me back right here because the price, $9.95, that's written on there, and then the date was written when it was purchased. So 9/16/95. So that was what's today's date? Today is the 10th. So I mean, same month, September. We're 6 days away from the 16th, but you know, obviously, dang, that's crazy. So that would be what, 30? Would it be 30 years? Right there. I don't know. You guys tell me. Yeah, I think it is 30 years. Crazy. I should do like maybe I'll take a photo of it and I'll post it that day. I'll be like, or maybe I'll do a video. Maybe I'll open it. Nah, I don't know. All right. So all these right here. Let me see if I can squeeze it in there. Psh, right there. Bam. Five new ones that are all right here in the pad. Right here. This is really cool. I'm really digging this right here. Oh, you know what? I dug up this kit the other day. I had it in my not even the kit, just the body. I was cleaning out the garage and I was opening, you know, like shelves and stuff, and I found the box and I was like, oh, I forgot about this car. It's been so long. Let me bring it out. Let me go grab it real quick. All right, I got it. Let me switch this thing back on. Boom. All right, it's right here. Magic. All right, so I have it in this little box. Stamped it right here. This was like the old school lettering that I would use in a stamp. Scale Riders Model Car Culture right there. Oh yeah, and then this was another stamp I had made. Oh, you see here the models all falling. It says Scale Riders and then model, and I left that line because I was gonna write down like the name of the car, basically, that was gonna be inside of this box. And then I think I stamped the same on this side right here. So let's see here. Let me get this stuff again out of the way. God dang. All right. Let's see. Jerry, what's up, man? I'm back, bro. Online. Had a great time chopping it up with you, bro. How are you today? Let's see. Leon. I had that drink before. I have like a citrus taste to it. Yeah, it does. Let's see. Yes, sir. Me too. Doing great. Awesome, dude. Heck yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I was just chilling, bro. I was, I wasn't even sure if I was going to go on live. But then I was like, you know what? I have these kids sitting here. I've been planning on doing a video. And I was like, let me do it now. Let's get on here. I have time. So this kit right here that I'm going to show you, I've had this for quite a while. I know Armando's seen this one before. This was one I had done I was doing a paint job on, and I don't know. I think I was trying to be a little experimental or something. It's let me see here. I was getting a little excited. I ended up using a gold base instead of like a silver base. Let me see. You can see it right there. It's a 1970. Let's see. Let's bust this out. It has not been cleared. It still has the House of Color paint on it. Let me see here. Hold on, guys, real quick. Let me check. Let me just check something real quick on this side. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. So let me explain about this car right here, the 1970, because there are parts that are painted on this right there. And I don't know if I should take this off. This is just tape right here. But let me zoom in. I'll zoom in a little bit, and then I'll show you right here kind of what's going on. Let me see if I could tilt it. Let me try to get a good angle for you guys right here. So pretty much this car, I ended up using solar gold on the whole body, right, of the 1970 Impala. My plan was to hit it with gold, and then I was going to do like panels and pretty much do designs inside each panel, right? So for this one here, I was I had done all the tape lines first, and then after that, I was like, I'm gonna start laying down my my colors or whatever, right? This might have been probably like the maybe second or third car that I was attempting to do like pattern work on. Maybe the third at that time. So I was still playing around with it. I was learning, about House of Color paint. In the edge of this right now, right here, it still has the tape right here on circling. If I peel that tape off, it's going to expose basically gold like all around. I haven't pulled it off yet. Let me see how close I can get. You could probably see the tape. It's still on the edges of the pattern work or whatever right there. So with this one, I was still playing around with colors. I really didn't have a sense of what went with what or whatever. I was just kind of playing around with it. When I threw the black on there, I felt like I was going to use that as a somewhat of a base and maybe throw a pearl over it or something, because a lot of times with pearls, you can either use like a white or a black base, right? Right here, you see purple, then you see like lavender, right? With flake and the lavender, and the purple part doesn't have no flake. So what had happened there was I had everything back masked. I was pulling stuff out. These parts were still exposed, and I decided to just shoot Orion silver and then flake it. And then I went back with the same purple, but it gave it this like lavender look and effect right there, right? So I don't know. I was just playing around with it. This is originally, I guess, how it's intended to kind of, let's see. Oh, dude, hold on. Let me try to put the hood on. I don't know if it's gonna hold on to it or not, but we're gonna try. Right here. Got to go from the top. It's just because of the tape. Here, let me just take off the tape, and then I'll put the tape back on. Right here. The struggles. Oh man. Yeah, it's because I don't even know if I even have the bottom chassis for it anymore. I think I might have lost it or something. I don't think I threw it away. I have to keep looking through my stuff, but I haven't found it. I just found this little box. Okay, so there you go. It was supposed to go. I don't know. Like at the time, I don't know what I was thinking. Like something like that, where it's flowing that way, or whatever. And then this is the inside right here, right? Let me see if I could fit this in the bottom. I don't know if that's gonna fall off. But I saw this build, I found the little box and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this one. And there we go, right here, like that. I mean, it looks funky. I think because of the darker colors with the lighter colors and then the gold, like it kind of throws it off, but it wasn't done. Like I still had other ideas to add things to the top of this, and then also the sides. And then after that, I could still backmask these areas, and then I could still shoot a candy over the gold or something to get like a different kind of effect. There was just a lot of different things that I could have done, but at that time I didn't really know that. I was just more like, oh yeah, I'll throw the effect here and that's it, and then I'll do some panels right here and call it a night. But now that I stare at it, I'm looking at it in a different way. Like, you know what? I could see the mistakes I made of the pattern, of the colors. Some of these colors do not go with each other at all. And I'm just thinking like, all right. If I really want to focus on this build to bring it to life, I would need to see what I want to keep and what not keep as far as like the panels within, and kind of go from there. Because there's radiuses right here. There's some wide panels. There's some thin panels. Some don't even make sense. Here, let me get a tool so I could kind of point those out to you guys. But I'm gonna take this apart. I'm gonna tell you what kind of doesn't make any sense to me anymore. So like right here, we have this panel. It's going up. Like let's just say the teal one. The teal one goes up and it curves, and then it shoots up. But then the one next to it, this purple one, it goes up and it curves. But then right here it's squared. Right here there's a radius, and right here it's squared. This should have had like maybe a radius right here. So that already right there, I'm looking and going, dang, all right. And let me see where else. Let's see. I'm trying to see what else. Even like right here, like this back part, it's just a square. Like that's all it is, just a square, and it's green. Like I don't know. There's certain color, and even like the black, I go, dang, would I even throw that on there? So there's all these little things, and then even right here, I messed up with the taping and the effect. Right here when I pulled it off, like it's all wonky. But yeah, this is just one of those builds that I was experimenting with back then. And then another thing right now that I'm looking at it, look at the scripture right here where it says Impala. Do you see around it there's a little square around it? When I tilt it, that's a bare metal foil that's right under it. So you could still see it. What I was trying to do is, bare metal foil and then expose it with thinner and then throw my next paint and then expose it. So far I haven't exposed it yet. I think I did it for this side too, I want to say. Yeah, I think it's in there like really small, but But yeah, I mean, this isn't. I'm not gonna get rid of this car. You know, definitely gonna keep it. I'm gonna figure something out later when I get like another 70 Impala. I'll be able to just use the parts from that. In, you know, if I want to do it up, but yeah, I saw this one. I was like, oh, I gotta show this one. I want to talk about it. You know, but yeah, we'll see what's up. I mean, at the time, I had all this paint. You know, I was stacking up on all this paint, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. But over time, you know, I start seeing combinations, and I'm like, oh man, like what the heck? And even too, man, sometimes it's right in front of us. You know, like right now, I'm talking about this drink. You know, I'm drinking it, and let's just say that you were gonna build a model, and you're unsure of what color to paint it. A lot of times, like this, you could be like, oh, I'll go with this color, like an orange, and then maybe I could go with like a peach. So we'll use like some white in this color, and then oh look, there's some silver on there. Cool. So we're gonna just use these colors: white, the peach, the peach and like the orange, and then some silver for the wheels. That'll be a nice combination right there. You know. Sometimes you're flipping through books and you're looking at stuff and you start to see the combinations of the colors and you're like, all right, you know what? Maybe instead of going too crazy, let's keep it 3 colors, 2 colors max, maybe 4, you know, depending what. And then when you want to go really, really crazy or wild, then you got to do some more research. Like, all right, what else can I bring in there? That's going to make sense. That's going to tie it in all together. So there's that with colors. And then the other thing, once you have that down, it's like the combination of effects. You know, what kind of effects do you want to do? Are you going to flake? If you're going to throw flake, are you going to flake the whole car, or are you only going to flake certain parts? Because when you clear coat it, you know, like this car, this is metallic. So the flakes are very fine. So with metallic versus flake, this flake is a little bit more coarse. So when I clear coat it, you're going to be able to see more shine through the flake versus the metallic. You know, the metallic will be there, but from a little bit further distance, you're going to notice more of the flake moving around. Like if I start moving it around under the sun, you're going to see more of this than the sides, unless you get up to it like really close, you know? So then there's effects like there's pearls, there's the flakes, there's metallics right there. There's the candies, you know, there's those kind of effects. But, you know, now there's a lot more. I mean, they've been around, but it's just exploration on like House of Color. House of Color has a lot more effects. They're pricey, they're expensive. And I think some people tend to not, you know, jump into it just because of the price kind of scares them. But I feel like for us that build model cars, if we just buy 2 ounces of that stuff, 4 ounces, it's going to last us a long time. And we're really not breaking the bank at all. You know, I've never had any issues with House of Color paint. Like this right here, it's not even cleared. You know, I'm all touching it and everything. You know, I'm touching this bottle. Who knows how many people touched this bottle before I got to it, you know? So obviously I would have to wash my hands, you know, blow some air on this. Maybe if I really wanted to get desperate, maybe some pre-clean, but I don't think I need to go that far, you know, because then the pre-clean will just wipe off the paint. So the best thing would be like, just clear it, you know, let's just clear it. If the clear wrinkles or something happens, not to worry, you know, we could still wet sand the whole body, you know, get rid of that orange peel, get rid of that funkiness. And then now that it has a layer of clear, now we could come back and use a rag or a towel with pre-clean and get it really, really clean and sanitized, you know. And then from there, you could clear a second time and bam, with that 2K show clear. I don't even think it's even 2K. I mean, they don't even say it's just show clear. You know, it is thick. I think that right there is going to look amazing right there once you put the clear on there, you know. But But that's like on the builds in general. I'm not saying like this car right here. This car, I don't know. It needs work, dude. It needs to really work right here. Let me put this away. So here, let me show you the little box right here. So this box fits like the more like Impala. This is a smaller size, like a really slim box. I need to get the bigger ones, at least a little bit bigger. It's like a fit. A model. I mean, the wheels aren't even in here or anything like that. So this one, it fits, but yeah, this is a OG. Now it's kind of like an OG one. Just been sitting here, tucked away. Maybe I need to write on the bottom. Yo, slowly. Dang, dude, you're late. Nah, you're good, bro. Let's see. Styrene Live 505, he says, that is looking chingon, carnal. Thank you, man. Let's see. It can lay a clear pearl yellow over that whole body, homie. Hey, man. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that could you know, you're right. A lot of things we can do, different directions. See, Leon says, that's why I miss the Lowrider magazine. You can get all types of ideas. Yup, you're right. He also mentions I got into the candy paints and pearls. That's my next step. Nah, definitely, man. There's so much like stuff out there, you know, that you can play around with. It doesn't just have to be urethane paint, you know. It could also be, you know, water-based paint if you're using water-based type stuff. I know you could also rock with that right there. Yeah, because there's effects for like everything, you know, any kind of thing that you want to use. Let me see here. Let me see what else I can bust out with. So tomorrow, I'm expecting a package from Paint Huffer. This is a company that's based out of Arizona. You know, Paint Huffer, you know, we were just talking about that artist Tukey. They did a collaboration with him. And they came out with like a few different colors, like some old school colors. I picked up all 3 colors. You know, I only got like 4-ounce bottles per color. And I'm scheduled to get the package tomorrow. So when I get it in, I'm just debating whether I should do like an unboxing video or go live with it. I don't know. But I am going to do some content when I get this box in. Because not only did I get the paint, I also ordered crushed glass. This is the Danny D edition. You know, rest in peace to him. This is the crushed glass that they did with him back then when he was still alive. Collaboration. And then also they had some dry pearl. But I believe, man, I think these are the ice pearls, though. I don't think they're just like the regular pearls, you know. So yeah, I'm getting that stuff in tomorrow. I think I ordered it around like the Labor Day weekend, and tomorrow it's coming in, you know. So I'm excited to get that. I'm excited to get that paint in and see what's up, you know. I'm really curious to test it out, see how it looks, because it's not House of Color paint. This is like their kind of paint. So I'm really curious to see, you know, for a urethane, if it holds up, at least somewhat up there, you know. It's really hard for companies to compare like that on that level, you know, because, I mean, everything comes with the price, you know. Some stuff's expensive and it keeps going up, but, you know, a lot of times they want to keep using the best materials to keep that paint system alive, right, for what it is. Because the moment they change an ingredient and they still are charging you a premium, people will notice. People will be like, dude, I've been using this stuff for 20, 30 plus years and now it's starting to fail on me. They switch something's not right. And if they're charging a lot and the system changed, the formula changed, they're going to lose a lot of customers right there. Everyone's going to try to buy the old stuff that's still in the shelves. But if the formula remains and nobody has any issues, yes, the price keeps going up, but everything is still the same. Dang, that company is always going to be known, as holding it down for doing some of the best stuff. And when you do see a product that's out, but it's a little bit way cheaper, you're going to start to kind of question it. Like, wait a minute, why is it that cheap? But you have to try it out. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm like, cool. You have a reputable person backing it, collaborating with the brand, putting their name on the brand and those colors. So to me, it shows like, all right, that's a plus. But now that I'm going to get it in hand, I'm going to have to see for myself and test it out. But also, I'm not going to make a decision right away to be like, oh man, like if something happens, I can't be like ruling it out. Like, oh yeah, it's not a good, nah, it's going to take time, maybe until I really run out of those bottles, and then maybe re-up again and then try it out. And then whatever I paint, like look at that stuff later and be like, all right, how's it holding up? So this is something that could take time, this kind of process. But yeah, as far as flake, I've been buying a lot of their flake for a long time from that company for many years, and I have a stash of flake. I haven't really used it too much on 124, 125th scale cars. It's been used more just to play around with my spray guns, spraying like a panel or like a skateboard or even like a 12-inch record, things like that. I've used a lot of their flake for back then. And as far as metal flake as of lately, you guys have seen me use the flake from Tropical Glitz, the Platinum Plus. I mean, that right there, it's tried and true. That's one that I've been using for a lot of years, and a lot of people have been using that flake as well. So that's definitely a cool one right there. Let's see. Slowly says, unboxing plus a peek in the flake library you got. Ooh, that's a good one right there. Maybe I'll do that because I have my stuff in like different areas right now, so I don't have it all collectively. But I feel like that's a good idea right there. If I do a video or if I go live, I'll have to bust that out. I'll have to show you guys all the flake I have, all the pearls I have, and what I just got. I'm most likely gonna have to do something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. I've been wanting to order some House of Color pinstripe paint. That right now is what's on my mind. Also, I've been wanting to get it so this way I can start playing around with this pinstripe paint, start trying to do some stuff. Maybe I'll do it here. That's another thing I've been doing. I've been like, man, I should pressure myself to get my piece of glass, lay out the glass right here, and then start, trying to pinstripe like lines going down, and then let it dry, and then scrape it off, and then just trying to do straight lines and small little pinstripe lines. I really need to practice, but I feel like if I do it here on camera, I'll put myself on the spot, and hopefully that will help me get a little better at what I'm doing, because I do want to start doing it on model cars. Like, why not? Some people do it already. It's nothing new, but man, if I could do it myself, I think that'd be pretty fun right there. Let's see. What time is it for you guys right now? Right now for myself, it's 10:13 or so. I don't know how late it is or how early it might be for you guys. Let's see. Armando says Tropical Glitz 0.004 flake. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, Slowly Models 3 p.m. coffee time. Dang, lucky. Yeah, I had coffee earlier in the morning, man. That was cool. Sometimes, I drink it at night, like I did during the podcast. That was dope. But like right now, I'm drinking this. You know, if I wasn't drinking this, then I'd be smashing a coffee. That's for sure. That's what's all lucky. Damn, Santa Paula, right there, right on. Hey Armando, are you gonna watch the boxing, fight? Boxing fight. The boxing matches this weekend. My bad. It should be this Saturday. They're gonna be playing them on Netflix. I think I don't want to say free because you know people have their subscription, but I think it should be added on the subscription, right there. So obviously the main event we have it's Crawford Canelo. You know, I'm not really too interested in that fight. You know, I mean, respects to those dudes or whatever, but it's not. I'm not like, oh man, I can't wait to see that fight. You know, I'm more interested on the co-main event, Armando. The reason why I wanted to ask you, Armando, is you're gonna see this dude, Fernando Vargas Jr. So just I don't know if you knew this, but his dad is originally from Oxnard. His dad was in the Olympics. He's also a boxer. His dad made a lot of history back in the 90s. And, you know, that his dad was young, you know, and I got to see that dude like around Oxnard and stuff. His brother, he had a brother too that was boxing for a minute. And you used to see a lot of boxers in Oxnard back in the day coming up, you know, Olympians, dudes that were boxing Mayweather, like that were living in Oxnard. So it was a trip. Like Oxnard has a huge history with boxing. You know, you would see it on a lot of pay-per-view events and stuff. But what's a trip is this is like that that boxer, you know, he had 3 sons. Dude, all 3 of his sons are boxers, all undefeated. Like it's in their blood, bro. Like these dudes are dope. Like they're killers, bro. Like when they go out boxing, like I see their matches and I'm like, dang, I'm excited for that on Saturday. That's one I definitely want to watch. Keep an eye out for that one. I don't know if you guys have the Netflix or you know all you guys are watching this, but if you do the co-main event one, try to tune in on that one right there. It should be interesting because this kid is challenging himself. He's undefeated. He's gonna be boxing this dude. What's his name? Walsh or what? Dang, I'm getting it wrong. Come on, I should know this. I think it's Walsh. This dude's from Ireland. Irish. Dude is dope too, bro. Undefeated. He's a champ. So, damn, this is gonna be a good one. This is one that I'm like, all right, this is definitely challenge. You know, 2 people putting it on the line, you know. But side note, that was just like, you know, real quick. I just wanted to tell Armando about that. But that's going to be Saturday coming up. But yeah, that's about it. Nah. I don't know if you guys are into that kind of stuff. But yeah, I like to watch combat sports here and there, but not too much. Sometimes I just like tune out and I don't even keep up with what's going on. But I've been very kind of out of tune with the boxing stuff for so long. But I've been only keeping my eye on these dudes right here. But yeah, it should be cool. Let's see. Styrene Life 505 says it's like 11:30 here in Berkey, homie. Dang. It is late out there. So, what, like an hour and a half? Pretty much an hour ahead of us. So, not bad, man. Not bad. Yeah, so last night, we did the podcast with Jerry. That was a whole lot of fun, right there. What up, Daniel? Daniel Evans, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us right here. You know, we did the podcast. If you guys missed it, it's up. You guys could check under the live section. That video's up. The interview had a lot of fun. You know, I got to know Jerry more. You know, we always, you know, when I see him at the shows, we chop it up for moments and stuff. You know, we're busy looking around at stuff on vending, you know, and at the Oxnard show, we got to hang out and all. And, you know, we communicate on Instagram and stuff, show each other love. And it was just nice, you know, being able to like sit down with them and like talk to him. We did about like hour 45 minutes of a podcast, and that was fun. And thank you, man. Thank you for taking the time and doing that episode there with me. Next week, my next guest will be Pancho from the 209 area, Northern California. Pancho Paint. Pancho's going to be back. He's been on the podcast. I don't know. I need to check. I don't know if it's been twice already in the past or maybe once, but I have a feeling twice. So he's coming back. Another amazing model builder, artist who just does some amazing paint jobs, bro. It's really cool. It's always nice to talk to him. And, you know, he has so much history with a lot of people and a lot of just builds. Like there's a lot of builds that you'll see to this day on tables in different states that have his paint job. You know, he's done a lot of collaborations with people, collaboration works, presentations. You know, he's done a lot of collaborative things with people, always down to support, always. You know, he's been staying busy building or painting the RC bodies for customers. He's been doing a lot of that. And I believe he's also doing a paint job for, it's a Radical. I just don't know. I don't know whose it is, but I did see some photographs recently, and it's interesting. You know, if someone's gonna pull that off, you know, I'm very confident he's gonna pull that one off right there. So he'll be in next week, but also that episode's gonna be airing earlier at 5 p.m. So we're doing this one earlier. You know, I really wanted to get Pancho on the podcast. He can't do it later in the night. You know, he works, you know, pretty early in the morning. So, you know, there wasn't going to be any other way, you know. So, and I've been thinking about this a lot, and I kind of wanted to ask you guys about this too, is the opinion on, you know, what do you guys think? You know, I really want to know this. All the podcasts I do are 10 p.m., you know, and I feel bad for some of my guests that are in the East Coast or just 3-4 hours ahead of my time, that when we go live, it's really late for them. You know, it could be 11, it could be midnight, you know, it could be 1 a.m. for them. And for me, it's 10, but for them, it's very late. And it's just one of those things that, you know, I'm like, damn, that sucks. Like, I feel bad, you know. Even like my homie Jason, Blue X Model, you know, I talked to him the next day after that podcast we did, and he was like, dude, I didn't even go to sleep. I just stayed up, and then I went to work. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. So I'm sure he had one hell of a day at work. It must have been crazy, you know. So I've been thinking about that a lot, you know, and then, you know, scheduling Pancho in, I was like, all right, 5. And then there's some other guests next month. They're going to come in. They're our, you know, the time zone is different. So 5 p.m. works for them. 10 p.m. isn't going to work for them, you know. So I feel like now that the temperatures are going to start to drop out here where I live in the coming months, because, you know, we're starting to head into fall, I'm hoping that my garage will at least be a lot cooler, and I'll be able to be in here to do a podcast and not be all freaking sweating, drenched, you know, wiping my face with my t-shirt or something. You know, it's going to look like someone dumped a bucket of water on me, you know. And yeah, so 5 p.m. That one's already scheduled. You know, that's the first time we're going to do 5. We're going to see what's up. So the 5 p.m. mark. And man, there's another a YouTuber that I want to say, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think he's ever been on a podcast. I don't think he's ever been interviewed. And he goes by the Scale Modeling Channel. This dude's from Europe, from Netherlands. And yeah, Tom. And he's been YouTubing for a long time. Even when I was just getting into this and like back again in 2015, I found his channel and I subbed to his stuff and I would watch his videos, and it was just cool to see someone, you know, start a build and finish it and do all this cool stuff. So I always admired his work and stuff, but I noticed, man, this guy's super low key. He never shows his face. I don't even know what he looks like. So he has an Instagram. He started his own business too. He sells model kits, paints, you know, tools, everything across the board. He does 3D printing. You know, he does a lot of stuff. He's very active. You know, I reached out to him. The dude was so nice. He said he's down. He wants to do the podcast. And I was like shocked because I thought he would say no, you know, because you never get to see his face. So this might be the first time we ever get to see Tom. I don't know. What if he says, you know what, I'll do the interview, but I don't want my camera shown, or you're just going to hear my voice. That'd be a trip. You know, I'll still be down. I'll be like, all right, we're going to do it like that. That's cool. You know, I want to get this interview with him. You know, there's so much stuff to ask him. But yeah, with him, we're just trying to figure out a date to do the podcast. It might have to be a Friday, West Coast time, because he's in the Netherlands. So it's either gonna be, let's just say as an example, if it was a Tuesday, it might have to be like 9 a.m. West Coast time. For him, it's going to be the afternoon, like 3 or 4 or 5 p.m. For him, that would work, right? Or if we do it a Friday night, 10 p.m., then for him, it's like, I think it's like 7 in the morning or something, you know? So one of the two, we're going to figure it out. But Tom will be a future guest on the podcast. Let's see. Let me go back to the comments real quick right here before we get too ahead of ourselves. So Jerry, he says, yup, thanks for having me. Time has gone by so fast. Known you for 5 years now already. Damn, look at that. What a trip, right? That's cool, man. Thank you. And then we also have Ben. Ben comments. He says, that tape job for that Radical is ridiculous. I agree, bro. It is. That's pretty cool. Let's see. And then, oh, dude, imagine that he comes out wearing a mask. That Jason, the Michael Myers mask. Oh, maybe we should have him on at the end of the month. So it's all Halloween theme. And I'll be like, hey, dog, like, you could wear a costume. I'll wear a costume too. And we'll just be doing a podcast, you know, wearing our costumes. Nah, I don't know about that. I rarely ever dress up for that kind of stuff. Let's see. But yeah, Raiden Tattoo, another guy that's gonna come through next month as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different artists and people that are gonna be joining us on here that we're gonna be getting to know. Also, pretty soon we'll be getting the owner of Coast Airbrush as well onto the podcast. He'll be here as a guest. That should be a fun one. David Moaning, that's gonna be cool. Already spoke with him and everything on the phone, and he's down. You know, that gets me excited, man. You know, when we're gonna get a new guest on and they're down, because, you know, for me, I've been doing this for so long. To me, it feels easy, right? Like to be like cool, turn my stuff on and whatnot. But still, like, I mean, there's times I get nervous too, you know, or I'm like, oh, like, you know, it's still, you know, it's just like that all the time. You know, you got stuff throughout the day, but then all of a sudden you're like, dude, I got a podcast later. Let me get ready, you know? And, you know, for some of my guests, it's like, this is their first time, or this is, you know, some friends are shy, you know, and now they're going to be put on the spot to speak. So, you know, I try to do whatever I can to, you know, make them feel comfortable, make sure everything's chill, you know. We're just hanging out. It's like we're hanging out at a show and we're talking to each other and just chilling, you know. But also, there's questions I want to ask, and there's also a lot of things that I want you guys to learn about my guests, or I want to introduce my guests to you guys, because, if you're curious more about their work, or you're like, dude, this dude's awesome. He's cool. I want to start following him. I want to subscribe. I want to start checking out his stuff. Always just trying to introduce someone new to you guys. And also, we bring back our homies, the OGs and everything, that, they learn something new along the way that they want to share with us. I always think that's fun right there. Let me see right quick for you guys. I'm just trying to, because I write down notes sometimes on my screen, and I just want to make sure that I got everything here for you guys before I head out, because I am going to be heading out soon. It's getting kind of late. I need to get my rest, because I stay up late, and then I want to keep jumping on live again, and sometimes I'm like, dude, I gotta get my rest. So we'll see what's up. But yeah, this week's pretty much flying by. The weekend's coming up. Some family functions are coming up for myself. Saturday it's gonna be like the fight night or whatever, but gonna be doing things with the family. And I need to order that pinstripe, because I'm thinking about the Corvair. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna pinstripe it, or am I gonna add a little bit of gold leaf on there? So we'll figure that out. And then later we'll do some so tomorrow I'll see what's up. I'm either gonna go live or I'm gonna make a video. I'll see what's up, but it just depends on the time on what's going on. But if so, it's gonna be about the package that I'm getting in, the Paint Huffer stuff. All right. And then later, when I get the pinstripe stuff, I want to do a video on that. I want to talk about this stuff to you guys, because some of you guys already know this stuff, but there might be some of you guys who have, don't know about it. But I want to just start bringing up the subject to you guys. So this way, hopefully it piques your interest, and maybe you want to do some research on your own too, to really know more about it. And we could learn this together as we go. And then, I always appreciate you guys on the chat. Whatever you guys know of anything, you guys always share it, and or questions. I'm always down with that. Because later I want to show you guys my my pinstripe brushes, what I use to clean them, to prep them, the whole paletting thing. Like, I kind of want to go through all these things that have to do with paint. There's a lot of subjects. There's so many cool things that we can go down rabbit holes with all this stuff, and it's cool. Like, I'm still learning, you guys are learning. We're all learning every day. We're learning something new, What up, John? What's up, man? Thank you for tuning in. And I just think it would be pretty cool. We start getting into more topics of different things with paint. So I'll let you guys know regarding the artists that I want to book for regarding paint, because I do have a lot of questions, and hopefully this kind of stuff will help you guys. But check it out, guys. I'm gonna take off. It's that time. If you guys came in late, when I end the live, you'll be able to rewatch it again. It'll be posted up on here. But yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. I have to clean up some stuff, sort out some things, and then because tomorrow I shipped out some stuff today, but I didn't finish packing everything, so I still have like a couple more orders that I need a package to ship out tomorrow. So I kind of want to sort out some things before I call it a night and pass out, go to sleep. But thank you guys again for being here with me, hanging out with me, tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one. Good night, everybody. Take care of yourselves and keep building. All right, guys. Peace.